Ascension and the fifth dimension is not a place. It's a state of being. I'm going to tell you some simple things that could transform you to go into this space. Now, if you've taken one of my classes, you know these things, but I'm going to share some important critical information in this video that if you master this, you can turn everything around and live in a completely different world than the one you may be experiencing right now. You ready? Let's go there. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an amazing, awesome life. You ready to do that? Break through fear. What is fear? Fear is the concept that there's something that you could lose, that pain is real to the point where it has no meaning and that you have no control over it. I want to share something with you right now. We're going to hit this real quick. If you took my Shift into the New Earth class, you know how important, how critical this is that I'm about to tell you. And you can go ahead and take that class. It's down in the description. We talk about this for 3 hours. But if you take this video and there's nothing else you do but the things that I'm going to share with you, you will shift into that space that's right here that is different from anything you may be experiencing now that's unpleasant. I want to share with you right now that you came here purposefully and that there are no mistakes. There is no healing without conflict. There is no evolvement without challenges. All of it's intentional. Every person, every incident is all intentional. It's all purposeful. We spend our entire lives battling these things as if they shouldn't be happening. And they're the very reason why we came here. We are here to overcome these challenges. So without the challenges, there is no learning. There's no contrast. All of it's you. That person that you despise for doing horrible things is you. That person who was the victim, although there truly aren't any victims, is you. It's all about how you can think and act in these situations. I'm going to read some things from the Bible, and you know that I'm not a religious person, but these are words from, let's just say, one of the most most well-known prophet who ever walked the face of the earth, who spoke words that were so powerful, who was still a human being and got angry and functioned like a human being in an awakened state. Don't forget that. As long as you're in this body, you'll still experience being human, and we don't believe that being awakened allows you to do that. I'm here to tell you it does. It's all the reason you came here. You can actually walk around in an awakened state and be a human being experiencing all these things. The experience of being human doesn't go away when you awaken. Not as long as you're in this body. That's the whole reason to come here. To know what it's like to have these emotions, that everything that is not what we are when we are in our higher, let's just say, light being self. Let's start with the first one that's going to be the toughest one for you to do. This is coming from the words of Christ, not me. Can you do this? This is why things are happening right now. Love your enemy. Love your enemy. Yeah, I know. And this is where we, as a human species, continue to slip back into density. We don't change our behavior. We fight fire with fire. And we take situations and we don't say, there's my test. Now can I be awakened? We just say that's wrong and we're going to fight for peace. You can't fight for peace. People say you need to take action and not meditate. Yes, take action, peaceful action, but peaceful action. And those words are usually coming from hate and struggle and opposition. Instead of protesting, what if we demonstrated peace, demonstrated what we choose? Protesting is another battle against something, and this is where things get out of hand, because human nature, well, it goes in directions that are not always the best choices for us. Judge not, lest ye be judged. Anger and hatred, judging. You can claim that you are the awakened person doing the right things, but those two items right there states in the Bible that you're not. That is not the right thing. That's the whole purpose of these things going on right now. And so many people aren't seeing it. They're caught in the material world and seeing the situation, not realizing every single one of these are tests. Every single one's a test. And everybody who's participated in those tests, it's intentional. I know, you don't want to believe that, right? Why would anybody do that? There's no chaos in the universe. Everything is the one experiencing different scenarios, all for the purpose of our evolvement, our experience. To experience everything, it's all contrast. We cannot experience the joy of peace unless we know that there's something different than that. And we can't correct it unless we go into it with peace. These are all the choices we get to make. All of it's intentional. That is you. It is you, because there is no separation of anything. Everything's one. If that's true, then all the hate and all the anger and all of the arguing that you are projecting, if you're doing that, is going to you. And you're putting it into the collective. And you are contributing that. This is the toughest thing as human beings will have to do, is to love in the worst of circumstances. Love your enemy. Judge not, lest ye be judged. Ye are all God's. These things you shall do and more. Say, mountain, move, and it will move. If you have a mustard seed of faith. What does that mean? Faith isn't measured by how much there is. You either have it or you don't. And so many of you, if you're feeling anxiety or sadness or anything else, that's not faith. Then you don't understand or truly believe that nothing can harm you, that we are all coming from our love, all unconditionally loved, playing out contrast. We're playing out contrast. And every single event is for you. This is your test. All of us are here presented with tests. All of this is. And the evolution of the planet relies on how we react to that. Will we create a new earth? Or will we rely on the structures in place and continue to act the way that we have been, which has never worked? We do not have to rely on money. We don't have to rely on a lot of things. And I'm telling you right now, if you don't step out of this structure, then nothing will ever change for you or anyone else. But here's the deal. You can shift into a completely different space right here with all this going on. You don't leave the planet, you shift into a different existence. You shift into a different place where these things will still continue. They will completely have totally different meaning for you. You will use them in the most positive way. You will transform from them, and from your transformation and higher frequency, it transforms. There will be others who handle things differently, and their reality will be different than yours on the same planet. Yeah, it's tough to imagine. That's the fifth dimension. You don't leave here. You are functioning in a different reality on the exact same planet. So your life then will all of a sudden be different. Yet if you'd have made other choices, your life would have been in another reality by different choices. That's all it is. So you will see the evolution of the planet. But no spaceship's going to come and take people away. It's sort of silly because that's not who we are. We are pure light beings. So we can transform anything. We don't need a spaceship to do it. And we don't need to leave the planet because there's a planet Earth that's perfect, that doesn't require us to physically leave it. We shift realities. You can do this. Can you do this? Can you love your enemy? Can you judge not, lest ye be judged? Everything you do, everything the Bible says, in other words, I do this, and this is happening. I do this, and this is happening. Your reality, now think about this. I'm doing this, and this is happening. It's really simple. It doesn't seem like it. It's really simple. What I think, I'm manifesting. What I think and believe is my reality. That's it. One thing needs to shift to go to that space if you want to go there. It's here. But so many people are addicted. They're addicted and fascinated with the train wreck. They look at it, they argue, they love it. It's an addiction. You can't tell me that you're benefiting others and yourself by getting involved in the controversy, the arguments, the thoughts on what's the conspiracy behind it, who's doing what. It's irrelevant. We've seen that not only are we split, but we are separate from each other, that we're becoming ill physically because that's what we've created, that we're losing jobs that we hate, so we manifested that, that violence has been put in our face because it has to come to the forefront to demonstrate that we've been acting as separate people, not seeing each other as the one. And that's programming. And you didn't come up with that yourself. So many people are learning who were unaware of how much injustice goes on every day because they're not exposed to it. Right? Nobody can possibly know what struggle and suffering that you have been through. No matter what your color, everybody has a story and struggles. We all have these experiences that set us up for the pain and set us up for the triumph. So those of you who are dealing with racism, those of you who are dealing with abuse, even if it's childhood abuse or anything else, congratulations, you're master students. What are you going to do with it? You can be the person who steps up and does something amazing. Or you can get stuck into the anger and the hatred and tell yourself that everybody else is bad because certain people acted a certain way. Right? We do that. We do that often. We categorize and we label one another. Everybody's an individual. And the hatred, that's been as old as the earth, and it must end. Love your enemy, because they eventually, you'll realize, aren't the enemy. And then that enemy, who's no longer hated, well, their defenses are going to come down. Eventually they're going to, as a collective, feel that from you and all of us. This is where prayer meditation comes in. You can sit there and say, that's not going to do anything. Well, then do your quantum physics homework. It absolutely does. Somebody asked me if I did meditations. I do them several times. If you guys don't know this, I do them every month. I'm actually going to make those public to everybody. I had a Miracle Circle. It's going to be a new program that's opening up. You'll see that on my website, landriaonkka.com. You can sign up for the Miracle Circle. We have a decision to make, individual ones, and it's critical. You know if you have a thought that is not in alignment with the one. You are the one, the other is the one. And what we do right now is going to shift you into an amazing space where there are no enemies. And anyone who's thinking that way will not go into the fifth. It's impossible. You cannot resonate with peace and harmony, love, unconditional love, if you're carrying any of this with you. Let it go. Let it go. It's time to make higher choices. Okay, let's hit a couple more things before we go. Are you using chemicals on plants? Are you killing things you don't need to? Are you eating food that is processed? Are you doing anything or using anything that you can change right now to a higher choice? As long as we fuel the negative industries, sources, establishments that are polluting our planet and ourselves, until we stop making those choices, nothing will change. Start looking in your refrigerator, what you're using, plastic. You have to make some very serious choices right now. It's go time, my friend. And we only have a limited linear time on this planet. We know there's no such thing, but we only have linear time on this planet for a few more years before things are going to shift, with or without you. It's not that they are going to go someplace and you're going to go here. We're all shifting into our own reality within the same planet. It's just a new earth for those who are creating a new reality, and they won't participate in the other things that are going on. Do you know that now is the time you could be extremely abundant right now, flourish and share it in a way that's amazing. Eventually we won't need money. That's coming soon. But in the meantime, use your resources positively. You could change what you do for a living and make higher choices. You can stop going into fear and looking at things as the end of the world. You're indestructible. You're unlimited. Here's another critical thing. You ready for this? Stop fearing death. There is no such thing. Our fears come from the fact that we think that something's going to happen to us or we're not going to get something that we desire. And so what do? We fear death. When you stop fearing death, your life will shift. And I mean truly let it go. And some of you know that this, if you want to call about heaven and hell, this is the hell. Not punishment. This is the biggest challenge, most uncomfortable challenge you'll probably ever experience. And then guess what? You get to go back to who you are and say, whew, we can either high five over there or say, damn it. Oh my gosh, that was all just one big experience and test. That's all it was. And it seemed so real. It seemed like that's all there was. But then that was necessary, because unless you experience that as an individual, you can't possibly be tested. You ready? You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. You're still a human. You're still going to experience things. You still get to have fun being a human. This is the beauty of making choices and experiencing things that you can't possibly feel when you're a light being. What's it like to have a body or be sad? What's all this like? What's it like to be challenged or see something that is not good? It's not good for the planet. It's not a higher frequency, and be the person that steps in to change that. There you go. It's there for you to change it. If it's not there and we all sat around and ate bonbons, what the heck would we come here for? We'd stay on the other side, right? Please subscribe, Share these videos. I'm shooting for 1 million subscribers. I don't know how long it's going to take me, but I'm going to be here till I hit that. Also, you can go to Shift into the New Earth. It is available now on LandriaOnkka.com. You can go in there. It's 3 hours. You can see it for unlimited for a year. You're amazing. All of the contrast is purposeful. It allows you to evolve. It allows you to ascend. You can't ascend unless there's a challenge. Do the right thing for you. No more hatred. No more hatred. Love your enemy. Do not judge. He without sin cast the first stone. You're all God's. These things you shall do and more. You have no limits, my friend. You ready? Let's go. Let's go there. Work on this every day. Send your light and love out to the planet. Healing. See no enemies. See the challenges and the opportunity for positive, peaceful change. And be that change. Yes, through meditation and prayers. Absolutely. It makes a difference. And then take the action for the new earth. Not battling the old one. Create the new one. Create the gardens. The container homes for the homeless, the schools to teach those who are struggling new skills so that they can contribute. Support artists and reward music, art, and entertainment, and education and skills. Anybody who offers anything can be rewarded. We all contribute. I love you unconditionally. You are never alone. Hang in there. I know it's tough sometimes, a lot of times. This could be the best, most amazing year of your life. It is happening for me, and I've been happy for a very long time. But I'm going to tell you right now, I named 2020 the year of expansion for a reason. With expansion comes great change. Don't be afraid, my friend. You're in good hands. You always are. You're always protected and loved. Never question that. Namaste.